Hello and welcome back. Today we are focusing on another essential Python function that is super useful when cleaning or processing data, especially for data scientists like us. It's called the filter function. So this one is very much applicable when you are removing invalid values or selecting certain items from a list. The filter function will help you keep only what matters. But first, who am I to talk about this? I'm Juma Shavara and I'm a data scientist at Raising the Village and instructor at Data Idea. I've taught hundreds of people programming for data science, and my mission is to make data science concepts easy to understand by covering them in a simple and intuitive way. So if that is useful for you, just make sure to subscribe or hit the like button and so on, so that videos like this that I'm making can be recommended to you again. So let's begin. First, what is a filter function? The filter function just filters, as it says, elements from an iterable object based on a given condition. So the syntax is like this. We just do filter, and this is inbuilt, so we don't have to import or do anything like that. We just do filter, then we open brackets, and then we pass in two things. First, the function which we shall be applying on an iterable object, and the second thing is the iterable object. Now here's the thing, this function usually should return a true or false, and again this iterable should be maybe a list or a tuple or a set or etc, something like that. Now let's give an example to help us understand this further. Let's say we have some numbers that we want to filter only the even numbers from. Okay, so we have a list of numbers and we want to filter out only the even numbers. The way many people would do this would maybe say, maybe write a for loop, say for number in numbers, and then they will do if maybe the number is divisible by 2, so that is, then maybe we get that number and store it in an empty list. So maybe we can have an empty list of even numbers, and then that means that we shall go ahead and store this number. We shall say even numbers dot append this number. Okay, now this is okay. If I print out the even numbers, we'll see that it actually works. We successfully filter out the even numbers, but you can see this is a bit verbose, and we can be a bit more cleaner by using an inbuilt filter function. And the way this will do is we shall just say filter, okay, and then we shall write our function that returns true if a passed number is even and returns false if it isn't. So this can be a lambda function. Maybe we can do lambda, and then it will take in a number, and then it will return true if this number is divisible by 2. Okay, that means that if it's even. And then the next thing that we want to do is we want to pass in the numbers from which we shall be filtering, and this word is actually supposed to be lambda, not lambda. Okay, like this. Now the result from here can be stored into maybe a list of even numbers like this, into a variable, rather, even numbers. And then if we print out this, first let me print out and then I'll explain something. If I just run this, this returns a filter object. Now this filter object is what we just want to convert to a list, and then we shall have exactly what we want. So I'll come here, and instead of just printing out even numbers, I'll print out the list of even numbers like that. And then this one does the same thing, but look at how more clean it is, okay, as compared to this first solution. Okay, now this one can also use, in this section I'm using the lambda function, but we can also use the named functions in Python. So for example, if we have our function maybe that checks if a value is even, okay, takes in maybe a number, and then it will return true if the number is divisible. If the number is divisible by 2. By the way, by using this is a percentage sign. It is a modulus operator which will check when one number is divided by another, it will return the remainder. So if the value from here is 0, we shall be comparing 0 and 0 to return true. Otherwise, then we'll be comparing another number and 0 to return false. So we can use a named function to do this. So we can again do maybe even numbers is equal to filter, and then we can just have our function is even, okay, and then we can also have our numbers that we want to filter from, okay. And again, this one is also another neat thing. If we print out the list of even numbers, we'll see that we get the even numbers, and this is still, as you can see, very clean. We can also use the filter function to filter even strings. For example, if we have some words like this, and what we want to do is we want to filter out all short words from this list, we can create a variable, maybe long words, which will be storing the results from this filter method. So we shall say filter out, and again we can use a lambda function, and this lambda function will take in a word, and then it will return true if the length of the word, okay, is greater than 4. Otherwise, it will return false, and then it means that a particular word that doesn't satisfy this condition will be left out. So you pass in that lambda function, and then we also pass in the words that we want to filter from. Okay, this is cool. Now, if we print long words, we'll see that from here we get the filter object again, which we can convert to a list, and the result is the filter of only the very long words. Okay, we can use this filter method to say we want to find some none or invalid values from some data. So assuming that we have some data, maybe we have 10, and then we have none, and then we have maybe 25, and then we have none, and then maybe we have 40, and then we have 0, and we want to find only the non values, the values that are valid. We can do maybe cleaned is equal to, and then we use our filter. It's a filter, and then we can pass in a lambda function. Again, I'm using lambda functions, but you can also use named functions. You can use a lambda function that takes in the value, okay, and then it will return the value. It will return true if the value is not none. Otherwise, it will return false. And then we can pass in the data from which we want to filter out the values. Okay, so if I print the list of cleaned values, we can see that now all the non values are left out in the resulting list. Okay, so this can be applicable in also such a context. Now, to wrap up this lesson so far, we have learned that filter functions can be used to remove unwanted data from an iterable object. It can be used to select elements based on a given condition. For example, here we had an even situation, here we were checking the length of words, and here we were checking for none values. Okay, and then thirdly, filter functions can be used to write concise and functional code. Now, this filter function pairs up with the map and reduce functions to give a really amazing functional style workflow. and check out the videos for map and reduce functions, which are also amazing for their use cases. For an exercise for you, you try out removing none or empty strings from a list, or maybe another exercise is, if we have marks of students, can you filter out students that passed, maybe who got a score of greater than or equal to 50? Also, maybe you can try out, as a third exercise, filter out names from a list of names that are starting with a particular letter. Maybe filter out only names starting with letter N. So let me know if you hit a block or a snag in the comment section, and then I'll try to help you out. Otherwise, if you found this video useful, then consider subscribing and liking and sharing to your friends so that they can have access to useful content like this too. Alright, thank you, bye.